Good morning, call. This is your host, Damon Johnson, and today I have the pleasure of introducing you to Cody Monroe. He is the founder, owner, operator of CM Backcountry. Cody, thanks for having me this morning.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
How you doing?
Good.
Good. So listen, this is a new show. This will be our third week when you're on, and I guess I'm really excited because I've seen and followed you on Instagram and saw some of the crazy things that you are literally doing on that sled. So we wanted to tell your story. So tell me a little bit about how you got to where you are today.
Well, I grew up snowmobiling. Started when I was 6 years old. Came over here on family vacations, snowmobiling and having fun in the winter.
So you started out, I guess to bring the audience up to date, you got out of high school and you decided you were going to be a lineman. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So I got out of high school, went and did line school, NLC down in Kuna.
Okay.
Graduated there, and then went and worked in South Dakota, Nevada, North Dakota for a couple years. And
something was calling you back home.
Yep, just trying to get back home the whole time. It's tough in the line work industry to get a job with like Idaho Power or like a co-op somewhere where you can be back home. So you kind of got to work your way into it. And I just took I fought fire for one summer right out of high school.
Okay.
So I took a fire job in that summer in between of doing line work there. I came back to McCall, got a fire job, and trying to apply while I was doing firework, and then didn't get any hits doing line work. So I just decided, well, winter's coming, I need something to do. Maybe I'll just start renting snowmobiles or do something like that, and work for a company that is renting sleds.
Had you thought about being an entrepreneur before? Or
No, I hadn't thought about that, and so I went out and got a loan and bought some snowmobiles and just started renting snowmobiles, yeah.
Right here at this location, right on Highway 55 and near Reinhard, right? Mm-hmm. So you've been here since the beginning, and you started out renting the sleds, and then you went through a fairly arduous task with the Forest Service to get your permit. Is that right? Lots of studies that they had to go through.
Yeah, they didn't offer a guide program at the time.
Okay.
So they had to start from the beginning on that. So it took quite a while, about 5 years, to go through the whole process.
Did you use a model from some other Forest Service?
Nope.
Okay.
It's all on the payette on how they wanted to do it, and they had to go out and do the impact studies and stuff and see if it would change anything on the forest, having guides running around. And then once that got passed and cleared, then they opened it for a bidding process where anybody could bid in and get a permit. And they only had 2 permits available.
Okay.
So at the end of it, they chose myself and Brundage Mountain here in McCall. And so those are only 2 permits on the forest.
And you run your guided service out of what area?
I run it mainly out of Francis Wallace at the end of Warren Wagon Road.
Okay.
And it's just pretty much everything north of McCall is our operating area.
Right. And you'll go out, say, 8:30, you take off from here?
Yep. Yeah, we'll leave town here. We'll get out the parking lot about 9, and depending on what kind of riding we're doing or guiding or rentals we have going on, it's about an 8-hour day out on the snow.
And I understand that you have a course coming.
Yeah, it's an avalanche awareness course.
Okay.
Mixed with a little bit of riding skills.
Okay.
So folks can get out in the backcountry and kind of learn their beacons and their shovels and their probe and how to properly use them. And then while we're riding to different avalanche spots, we'll do riding tips.
My experience with snowmobiling, I'm not sure about others, is that there's always something that can and will or might go wrong. So it's fantastic that you are taking folks out there and making sure that they're prepared so that when they don't have a guided service and they're on their own, they're doing that. Have you been out and seen a situation like this where you've got some riders that just came ill prepared or?
Yeah, I mean, most people aren't prepared.
Okay.
I would say like 80% of the people out riding
Wow, are
don't,
not prepared.
yeah, they don't have the proper equipment. They either have a plastic shovel, or they're missing the probe,
Okay.
or they don't have the survival gear to stay overnight if they had to.
Right.
Or if somebody got hurt, they don't have any like satellite phone or the spot or any way to like GPS text or like any of that stuff. So I mean, it's
a cold night with nothing. What?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's say they did have to spend the night. What gear would you have already ready?
I have a lot of like space blankets, a fire starter, stuff like that, rope, like tarp. Like you can get those compressed tarps that are like 8 feet, you know, and they're like, you can put them in your pack and they weigh nothing and they're all compressed to nothing. Don't take up much room at all in your pack. And then just your shovel, a good saw, so you can make snow caves. You can cut on trees and do whatever you need. Get firewood for the night. Just gotta kind of have.
You gotta be ready.
You gotta be ready.
Yeah.
I mean, you shouldn't go into the backcountry thinking like, oh, I'm never gonna spend the night out here, or nobody's ever gonna get hurt. That's not gonna be me. We don't ride avalanche terrain. You know, when you go into the mountains with that mindset is when you're going to get pinched.
Getting more into the fun part of it, because most of the time we're not going to have those sort of accidents. You go up every day and you come back. Can you tell us about a great story that you've had, either with someone who maybe didn't think they could do it, or some kids that you might have taken out, and just a feel-good story about taking folks out into the wilderness and then they're hooked?
Yeah, the majority of people that go out or sign up for our clinics, you know, are doing it because they don't think they have the skill set and they don't think that they can snowmobile. And it doesn't take much to change that attitude, you know, some tips and tricks on how to use your snowmobile and how to get unstuck, and just being out there with somebody that's confident and knows the area, and you don't have to worry about getting lost or where you're at all day, or some of the easier terrain to access, you know. So you get folks out there and you get the bugs worked out, and I mean, the majority of people walk away knowing that like they can do this, and I can go out and practice these skills and get really good on snowmobile, and I can side hill, and this is something that an average person can do, you know. It's not as extreme as it looks.
Right.
You know?
Right. Well, that's fantastic. Listen, great story. Someone who was trying to figure their way out in a career, and by necessity started to be an entrepreneur, and now you love going to work every day. You were telling me that you have about 20 sleds that are available for rent besides just the guided service. So this is a fantastic business in a small town, and congratulate you on your success.